Hi, this is AJ back with another video episode of Real Food for Dudes. Today we're going to be talking about tiramisu. Now tiramisu is a wonderful Italian dessert that dates back from the 1600s. It's become a lot popular today in the United States, probably about from the mid-80s to 90s or so. And there's no restaurant or even coffee shop you can go to without finding tiramisu. This wonderful blend of ladyfingers, coffee or coffee-flavored liqueur, mascarpone cheese, sugar. It's wonderful, and no matter what type of iteration you get, it's usually very good. And I say different iterations because it's been adjusted so many times. Some people add fruit to it, some people add Marcello wine to it. The original recipe only had 6 ingredients to it. It had the ladyfingers, of course, eggs, mascarpone cheese, sugar, coffee, and cocoa powder for the end. But today I put the chocolate chips in here, in there, and the mascarpone cheese, and then I dusted it with cocoa powder at the end. So you see a wonderful dish. This is not hard to prepare. It looks like it is, but you'll see in the video it only takes 1 shot, and then you refrigerate it and let it set, and then you're ready to go. This is a very rich dish, so I recommend that you share it with friends. I usually bring leftovers in for my coworkers, that way they can enjoy, or family gatherings or holidays. So sit back, watch, enjoy, and if you like this video or the other videos I have, please subscribe and share with your friends, and that way I can produce more videos and more content. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Hi all, this is AJ, and I'm here with the ingredients for the tiramisu and getting ready to start. So what we have here is we have 1.5 cups of triple strength coffee or espresso. I personally don't like to waste espresso on this, so I have the coffee. We have 1/2 cup sugar. We have 1/4 cup of brandy. I'm trying to get everything in my field of view here. Okay, we have 2 egg yolks that I've already separated. We have 1 pound of mascarpone cheese. You can find this in any Italian grocery store or specialty gourmet store. We have a package of Italian ladyfingers, or they're sold under a brand name of Scaladoro, or any type of light cookie that's kind of elongated and thin like this will do. This is 12 ounces. You need at least 8 ounces. I've got 4 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. Okay, I can use shaved, but I prefer to use the chocolate chips because it's a lot easier to work with. Okay, so what I do is I've got 2 bowls here. The ingredients set. I've got 2 bowls that I want to use. What I want to first start out with is pouring the coffee in the first bowl. Okay. We get the sugar in, and we get the brandy. Okay, and what I want to do is stir the sugar until the coffee mixture, until the sugar just dissolves. Okay, and what I've done here, I've made this pot of coffee not long before starting the video, so it's still fairly warm, so I can the sugar dissolve very easily now. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1/3 of the cup of the coffee mixture, okay, and transfer it to the second bowl. Oops, there is just like a teaspoon difference, so I know I'm measuring it and I say I shouldn't, but I did. Okay, now I'm going to set this one to the side, and I'm going to concentrate on this smaller bowl here. So what I do in first is I take the egg yolks and I whisk those in. I want to incorporate them nicely. Now I had said that I had made the pot of coffee before, but I let it sit, so it's not hot. So I don't want it that hot or boiling because it'll cook the eggs. Okay? So now, I add the mascarpone cheese. Okay, see, I haven't even opened it yet. So that's a pound right there. That's 16 ounces. So get that in there. I've tried to, the best thing to do with the cheese is to let it sit out for a while to come to room temperature. That makes it much easier to blend and to whisk in. So what I'm going to do now is just try to separate this. See? And just so you all know, if you haven't had mascarpone cheese, it's the same cheese used in cannolis. It's a lot like cream cheese. Am I saying substitute cream cheese for this? I'm not saying that, but you may if you're particularly adventurous. Okay, so I've got it blended together a little bit. What I want to do is whisk it as much as I can. Okay, break up some of the big solids in here. I want to get it to a nice smooth texture and consistency. There we go. See, this would have been so much easier if I'd have let it sit at room temperature for probably about a half hour to an hour before I began. Okay. Okay. Now get my spatula, my silicone spatula. The last thing, I blend the chocolate. That's the best part. See, I finally have a multi-camera situation set up, so I'm trying to pay attention to both camera angles here. Okay. Alright. So I've got that blended real nice. So what I want to do is I want to open the package of the Italian cookies. So what I want to do is open the package of the Italian cookies and move that out of the way. Okay. And take our coffee mixture. First, take our pan, and I'm going to line this. Okay? Now I'm going to line this with parchment paper. You want to line it enough so that it can wrap around. So this is about right. So take the parchment paper and fold it over both sides, like so. And I start dipping the cookies in. You don't want to leave them in there too long, just enough to get them wet. And then you put it see what I'm doing is just layering them. See, and one of the things I like about these Stella d'Oro cookies is that they fit exactly the dimensions of the standard size loaf pan that I'm using. Okay. Just put one there. So now I'm done with one layer. So now what I do is I take the mixture here. I use half of it after the first level. I set it aside. Okay. I'm back to dipping the cookies again. So, do a few at a time. And you don't want to keep them in here so long that the cookies start to fall apart. That smell of the brandy mixed with the coffee is unbelievable. This dish is unbelievably rich, but it is so good though. It's totally worth the extra calories. Okay, now I put the rest of the mascarpone cheese mixture on top of the ladyfingers. And put the last cookies. And you see, the coffee's almost done. Okay. Now, what I'll do with this is to wrap it up. Nice and tight. And I'll put it in the refrigerator for 6 hours and let it set. And I'll be back then and show you the final product. Okay, we're back with the rest of the ingredients for the whipped topping, and we're also going to finish off the tiramisu. So I've got here a cup of heavy cream, whipping cream. Now, a lot of times these comes in the half-pint containers. A half pint is a cup. Just so you know. I've got a tablespoon of confectioner sugar, and I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now what I do is I normally do the whipped topping in with my speed stick, one of these little containers. I could do the whisk, that takes forever, and I won't get it the consistency I'd like it. With this, it comes real quick, much quicker, and I can take the speed stick out and clean it up and present it over there with no problem. So first thing I do, open the heavy cream, pour it in. Now one of the reasons I use confectioner sugar as opposed to regular sugar is because since it's already powdered, it'll have the whipped cream whip up a lot quicker. So it won't be so quick to dissolve. So I put the confectioner sugar in, then I put the vanilla extract in. All right, pretty simple. And I have my handy dandy speed stick. You've probably seen every one of these episodes. And I just put it to the bottom. I don't want to keep it half in and half out or else it'll splash all over me. Okay, the whipped topping done. So I like this method better because it incorporates the amount of air necessary in much quicker time. So I'm going to clean this off and I'm going to get the cake. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, we're back here with the tiramisu and I still have the whipped topping. And I just realized I keep calling it cake and it's not cake, it's tiramisu. I must have cake on my mind or something. Or maybe because of the lady fingers. Okay, so what I'm doing is unwrapping it with parchment paper. Some of it sticks to it, but not so much. What I want to do is get it on my plate. Alright, and tap the bottom. There we go. I'll take it off in a way that you can see it. Oh, look at that. Okay, look at that. That turned out great. Now I'm going to spread some of the whipped topping. So it is kind of like cake, but not quite. All right, this is nice and whipped up. It's real easy to spread now. You know, it's not going to be one of the things with homemade. It may or may not be perfect, but that's okay. You know, practice makes perfect, obviously, but you know, with practice it becomes easier because you know what to do, and more importantly, what not to do for the next time. What makes it easier? I can do this really well. While I am not a pro, I do have quite a bit of experience. However, I am doing it for the benefit of a video, and I never realized how difficult it was to make a video until I started doing it. And there's so many things that you got to consider. You know, there's the administrative and logistic things like lighting, sound, having everything ready at the right time. Yeah, I know, I just tasted that a little bit. I can't help myself. This is really good. But beside that, there's also the content that I want to make sure that you get the essence and you see in mostly real time how long this takes without it becoming too boring. Because this can sometimes, the processes of chopping, mixing, all that can become kind of boring, and I didn't want to make it boring for you. Okay, so we've got that ice now. Put a little bit of cocoa, and I'll put some more confectionate sugar. I'm just going to hold this over my cake pan because it will spill out here. I don't want it over my working surface. So you notice I'm on a different working surface now. I used to be on the kitchen counter, and I probably will do some things on the kitchen counter again, but it just is a better field of view here. And this is my dining room table, and this just makes it easier. Okay, so all you do with this is I can take this even. You see what I'm doing? All I'm doing is tapping. Get some of the... Alright, and I've got that, and I'll put this to the side for cleanup. And there you have it, folks. Tiramisu. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Until next time, take care.